Here we have what appears to be 12 separate cubes. There's actually 3 sets. Each set is folded from one sheet of paper. The process of making this fold is called folding the cut or folded cuts. You will see why it's called folded cuts in just a minute. First, let's see that these are actually all hooked together. Next, let's see if there are 2 different versions of it. This version and this version are different not only in color, but the way they are made. This version is made with a cut that allows you to separate it into cubes. This one is one long sheet of paper entirely folded. No cuts once the rectangle is determined. Let's take a look at the cut version first. Start with a heavy piece of cardstock that is 28 inches long and 4 inches wide. The ratio of the length to width is 1 to 14. You will mark off every 2 inches. Starting with the first one, you will make a cut that goes from the top to the middle. On the bottom, you'll go from the top to 1/4 down, leaving 1/4 uncut. The next one will have 1/4 on the top and bottom. The next cut will be 1/half up and 1/4 down. Then you go 1/4 down, 1/4 up. Again, 1/2 down, 1/4 up. You notice how you alternate down to the middle, not cut to the middle, up to the middle, not cut to the middle, down to the middle. And you do that until you get to the center. In the center, you're going to skip four spaces without cutting to the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you start the pattern again, making sure that the pattern on this side is opposite of this side. You will notice that the red lines are where the cuts are made. The blue lines will be where the folds are made. You will then alternate no cuts in the center to one cut that is opposite of the last cut. So it's one cut down to the middle, 1/4 up, down 1/2, 1/4 up. No cuts in the center, 1/4 down, 1/4 up. No cuts, or excuse me, 1/2 from the bottom to the center and 1/4 down. You're now ready to begin the folding process. You begin by folding the entire structure in half. You're going to work from the center out. The first cube is going to be formed with the gold edge out in the center. So we're going to fold the next line over like this, and we're going to go back again. Turn it over, repeat the process on the other side. This will form the first cube. First cube will be like that. The next cube will actually have the white side on the outside. We'll see how that is done in a minute, but we'll skip that last fold and we'll make a fold here in the opposite direction, like this. We turn it over, we do it again on the other side. remaining folds are all in the same direction. Fold over, fold over. Turn the sheet over, fold over, fold over. Now let's take a look at the top and bottom folds. Let's start from the center. In the center, we're going to fold the flaps down. Here's the center of the object. We fold this flap down, 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 this flap down towards the center. We turn the box over, and we're going to fold this flap down, 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 this flap down. Turn it over and fold the remaining flaps down. Unfold all flaps. To begin the final phase, fold the entire structure in half. We are now ready to start the final assembly. Find the slot that is after the first fold. It is located right here. There's a cut right here on the top, and underneath there's a cut on the bottom. We're going to nest the two cuts together like this so that the box is formed on the end. We're going to skip 2 spaces and repeat that process. Find where the cut is on the top, find where the cut is on the bottom. Nest the 2 flaps. The next box is formed. Skip the next 2, and this time we're going to tuck one edge in and tuck the other edge in, and then nest the 2 remaining flaps on the end. We now have all the folded boxes. We only need to close the tops and bottoms. To close each top and bottom, start from any edge and fold 1 flap down. Go working around, fold the next flap down. Fold the next flap down, working around, fold the next flap down. For the final maneuver, lift up the very first flap and nest it all together so it closes. Let's repeat that on this side. Fold 1 flap down. Working around the box, fold the next flap down, next flap down, next flap down. Lift up 1 flap and tuck the last flap underneath it, closing the box. Fold 1 flap down, 1 flap down, 1 flap down, 1 flap down. Lift up the first flap and tuck the last flap underneath. Repeat the process on the other side. Working around the box, doesn't matter whether you go clockwise or counterclockwise, either way will work. 1 flap down, 1 flap down, 1 flap down. Lift up the first flap, fold the last flap underneath. One down, down, down. Lift up, fold underneath. Down, 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 down. Lift up, fold underneath. Your boxes are now complete. This version of the cubes is entirely folded from one long rectangle. I'm now going to unfold this rectangle so you can see that there are no additional cuts. At this point, the two items look pretty much the same. They have slots in them, and you can unfold the slots. But you can see that the internal mechanism is much more complex because the slots are not cut, they are folded.